Welcome to Rear Panel Control, Part 2, Button Functions with Feedback. Now that we've assigned two buttons, button number 1 to decrement input rear panel gain by 1 dB of input channels 1 and 2, and button number 2 to increment input rear panel gain by 1 dB of inputs 1 and 2, let's assign LEDs to track every time that button is pushed. And the way that we do that is we select programmable outputs, and we want to choose programmable output number 1. Notice you have 8 programmable outputs on the DM812. And let's select the function monitor programmable input state. Now, by default, it selects programmable input number 1. That's what we're interested in. Programmable input number 1 is decrementing the rear panel input gain. So now that it's assigned, all I have to do is press my button, and you'll notice that our virtual LED will work exactly with our real LED, and now we have feedback. Now let's say that we want the opposite feedback. We don't want it to light when we press the button. We want it to be lit all the time and to extinguish when we press the button. All we have to do is select the invert box, and notice that the LED is lit now, and every time I press my button, the light goes out. Okay, so now, as an example, let's say that we assign programmable input number 3, our third button, to toggle mute inputs. And let's apply this to input channel number 1. And now, every time I push button number 3, what will happen is it'll mute input number 1. Now let's assign an LED to that. Let's go to programmable outputs. We'll select programmable output number 3. And now, if I monitor the programmable input state of programmable input number 3, you'll notice that the LED is off. Now, if I push the button, the LED comes on to indicate the muted state. I press the button again, and it goes out. So it's actually tracking the function of the button, not the button itself, because it's a momentary button, but the state is a toggle state. Okay.